I gotta say, it's a pretty interesting game. Pretty interesting game. I'm not. I haven't played enough to know exactly if it's worth $20 because that's the price right now on Steam. Let me just close that. The music is pretty loud. Yeah. I honestly don't know if it's worth $20. I would say maybe get it once it's on sale, but it's definitely a type of game that I would recommend you get if it's on sale. It has enough potential to be a very good game. That was a game that I only had one opponent. I can't even imagine if you have like more than one, because then you get raided even more often. There's like dungeons and stuff. We even didn't get even to see a boss. There were plenty of different mysteries that we haven't uncovered, plenty of locations we haven't been to. We only barely scratched the surface of the one location we were in. That's not counting what was near the other player, probably an entire new zone with entirely new dungeons and stuff. And yeah, like just like making sure that you defend your base properly. I think it's like it's pretty strategic. You probably have to like focus hard on certain things and just forget about other things until you're much later down the line. Honestly, I don't know what that is. That's nothing to do with Niffelheim. Yeah, I want to say honestly, really good job. The graphics were pretty. The music was good. Gameplay. The game could do a better job of explaining things to you. Actually, I would have preferred if the tutorial were spoon-fed to me gradually instead of just not at all. Because it felt like the game doesn't explain anything to you. You have to manually go yourself into the menus and then go into the section that's called tutorial, and then you have access to it. And then you can read on stuff. But I appreciate that that's there, but I would have preferred a pop-up once in a while that says like, oh, by the way, like as soon as I try to do something that I haven't read a tutorial for as your first game, it would have been great. Also, I would have loved maybe an easier difficulty to start off, like have maybe like a tutorial version of the map, so you can just like start off a little bit easier, just to ease you into the mechanics of the games and stuff, instead of just starting you straight up hard, let's go. That would have been great. Other than that, pretty cool game. Lots of funny little story bits. I think, like, it's probably not, it would have been maybe hard to integrate or anything, but I wouldn't have mind like almost like a campaign version of this. Because like the single player seems to be the same as multiplayer, just with the difference that the multiplayer is just both other people instead of other people controlled by PC. I think it would have been interesting to have like a campaign mode where you have like an actual story and maybe even like different missions, like you have like your base and you have to build stuff and you have to attain a certain mission, then it ends, then you go to the next mission. Like the next mission could be something else, and it's a brand new map with brand new monsters and brand new stuff, so you have to like get better, and maybe a different class every time, so you have to like think on your feet and be like, okay, I have a new class, I'm gonna learn it and stuff. I don't know, I think it would have been like a cool little addition, not needed by any stretch, but it could have been interesting. I didn't encounter any bugs, and I feel like that's pretty worth mentioning. We didn't get any weird shit going on, and that's rare in indie titles, and that's okay. I'm not holding indie titles at the same standard that I hold other stuff, but I gotta say I was really pleasantly surprised with the polish of the game. Really cool. So yeah, gameplay pretty solid, although the combat system was pretty lacking. I would have preferred a better targeting system, or maybe like if you hold shift or hold control or hold alt, you can just attack like in Diablo, like you can just like attack into emptiness, but it hits whatever's in front of you instead of having to like super precisely click on enemies. Because sometimes I would click not exactly where the game wanted me to click, and I would just like make my character walk through them, and I would take unnecessary damage that way. Especially, this gets especially frustrating with the bow. When you try to use the bow, you just like straight up start walking toward an enemy, and then you just like die super easily. And maybe like because arrows in the game are pretty freaking necessary. Like, the game doesn't prepare you for this, but like, you really, really freaking need arrows. So I feel like a better and more reliable way to get feathers outside of having to necessarily build a chicken coop, maybe having more ways, more chances to get them in the wild would have been fantastic. Because it's like, you need like 1 feather per arrow, and it's fine for your own use. You won't go through 20 arrows super quickly, but your towers though, they'll go through arrows super quick. Like, if you don't have arrows, you're fucked. Like, I didn't have arrows the entire game, and I had to fight my own battles and almost died every time. And the next wave that was coming, I would probably have died there. I didn't have any more equipment. The other player had broken most of my shit. I had to like build more things. I only have 7 minutes to do so. Like, it's a pretty tough game. So if you're interested in the game, grab it on sale. Worth a buy on sale, not full price. And yeah, man, I was supposed to play other stuff tonight. I was thinking I'm gonna play like an hour or 2 of this, and I really got into the game. I really liked it. So yeah, sincerely, good job, a lot of games. That was a solid first title for your studio. Liked it. Pretty cool. Can't even imagine how crazy it gets later on in levels and stuff. But yeah, maybe more abilities too, and more difference between the classes. That would have been a good thing too. Like a shaman, you have spells. That would have been nice. But it's okay. It's fine. It's more like realistic-ish the way they made it. So yeah, that was my thought on Niffelheim.